Hello, everybody. We are back with another session of Bible study. I know for me, it has been a busy week, so I hope that your lives is well. I hope that everything in your life is okay, and I hope that you guys are blessed. I'm thankful to be in this moment with you guys, and I feel so blessed that we're able to be here together, you and I, and once again have another great session of Bible study. Okay, so in our last Bible session, we left off where God had destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Now we're going to move into the origin of Moab and Ammon. Okay, so that's pretty exciting. I've already got my Bible open here, so if you're ready to go, we can get this started. So the origin of Moab and Ammon. Lot departed from Zoar and lived in the mountains along with his two daughters, because he was afraid to live in Zoar. Instead, he and his two daughters lived in a cave. Then the firstborn said to the younger, "Our father is old, and there is no man in the land to sleep with us, as is the custom of all the land. Come, let's get our father to drink wine, so that we can sleep with him and preserve our father's line." So they got their father to drink wine that night, and the firstborn came and slept with her father. He did not know when she lay down or when she got up. The next day the firstborn said to the younger, "Look, I slept with my father last night. Let's get him to drink wine again tonight, so you can go to sleep with him and we can preserve our father's line." That night they again got their father to drink wine, and the younger went and slept with him, and he did not know when she lay down or when she got up. So both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father. The firstborn gave birth to a son and named him Moab. He is the father of the Moabites of today. The younger also gave birth to a son, and she named him Ben-Ammi. He is the father of the Ammonites of today. So that's really interesting, the fact that Lot's two daughters, out of fear, was afraid that their father's lineage would be gone. And so to preserve their father's lineage, because their mother, got turned into a pillar of salt. Oh, I'm sorry, guys, it's my phone. Their mother got turned into a pillar of salt. They had this idea, hey, let's save our father's lineage, and let's sleep with him. That's quite interesting. I have kind of different perspectives on this. We have to remember this was before Christ. So I want to say that these young girls probably thought that they had the best intention, right? But seeing that and thinking about that and realizing the actions of what that would mean for today in our world right now, that's incest. And then so that's quite interesting that they were so afraid that their father's lineage would be gone that they both decided to conceive with their father to keep their lineage going. So I could look at it from different perspectives. And that's just really interesting. Wow. You guys can comment and tell me what you think about that story. What do you think? Okay, because I'm interested in knowing. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue. Sarah rescued from Abimelech. From there, Abraham traveled to the region of the Negev and settled between Kadesh and Shur while he was staying in Gerar. Abraham said about his wife Sarah, "She is my sister." So King Abimelech in Gerar had Sarah brought to him. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, "You are about to die because of the woman you have taken, for she is a married woman." Now Abimelech had not approached her. So he said, "Lord, would you destroy a nation even though it is innocent? Didn't he himself say to me, 'She is my sister'? And she herself said, 'He is my brother'? I did this with a clear conscience and clear hands." Then God said to him in the dream, "Yes, I know that you did this with a clear conscience. I have also kept you from sinning against me. Therefore I have not let you touch her. Now return the man's wife, for he is a prophet. and he will pray for you, and you will live. But if you do not return her, know that you will certainly die, you and all who are yours." Early in the morning, Abimelech got up, called his servants together, and personally told them all these things. And the men were terrified. Then Abimelech called Abraham in and said to him, "What have you done to us? How did I sin against you, that you have brought such enormous guilt on me and on my kingdom? You have done things to me that should never be done." Abimelech also asked Abraham, "What made you do this?" Abraham replied, "I thought, there is absolutely no fear of God in this place. It will kill me because of my wife. Besides, she really is my sister, the daughter of my father, though not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. So when God had me wander from my father's house, I said to her, 'Show your loyalty to me wherever we go, and say about me, he is my brother.' Then Abimelech took flocks and herds and male and female slaves, gave them to Abraham, and returned his wife Sarah to him. Abimelech said, 'Look, my land is before you. Settle wherever you want,' and said to Sarah, 'Look, I am giving you your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. It is a verification of your honor to all who are with you. You are fully vindicated.' Then Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, his wife, and his female slaves, so that they could bear children. For the Lord had completely closed all the wombs in Abimelech's household on account of Sarah and Abraham's wife." So God does not play, okay? We can see that God doesn't play. And what I take from this is like, God always gives us chances, right? So he gives us a chance to live. He gives us a chance to do right. He gives us all of these options. And at the end of the day, he leaves the choices up to us, whether we are going to do right by God, right by him, or whether we are going to do wrong. And so when you choose to do right by God, you are in good standing, you are blessed. But when you choose to do wrong by God, you will be punished in some type of way, or you will have to deal with the consequences of your actions. And I can clearly see that. He gives us free will. He told Abimelech, if you don't do this, I'm giving you this warning of what's going to happen. And I feel like God, this messaging and everything that God stood for and what he did, he's basically gave us his warning. Like, hey, you're living life, you get to live down here, to be in the kingdom with me, to be in heaven, you need to do right by me. And so he always gives us options and always gives us choices, but it's up to us whether or not we actually take that into consideration and we take it seriously. And we all just have choices. Every single day you wake up, you have a choice to either put good out into the world or bad out into the world. You have choices to either harm somebody or do good to somebody. So life is all about choices. But at the end of the day, I do believe that God definitely says, hey, no matter what you do in life, you are going to face a consequence, whether it's good or whether it's bad. So Abimelech, known that was true, and he followed God's orders because he didn't want that kind of trouble. So he made the decision to do what was told and what was right. So now we're heading into the birth of Isaac, okay? The birth of Isaac. The Lord came to Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah what he had promised. Sarah became pregnant and bore a son to Abraham in his old age. At the appointed time, God had told him, Abraham named his son who was born to him, the one Sarah bore to him, Isaac. When his son Isaac was 8 days old, Abraham circumcised him, and God had commanded him. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Sarah said, God had made me laugh, and everyone who hears will laugh with me. She also said, who would have told Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have borne a son for him in his old age. So remember, Sarah laughed. Sarah didn't believe that could happen. Like, oh man, I'm old. God is not going to give me a child. God is capable of anything. And now she's laughing, and she's just like, oh my goodness, like this is hilarious. Like I'm having a baby. I'm pregnant. I conceived this baby. I have given birth to this baby. We have named our baby Isaac. This is hilarious. Like, this is funny. And so God had did exactly what God had promised. He said, I'm going to come back, and he kept his word. And Abraham made a covenant with God, and the covenant was to keep and make all the babies, get all the lineage and the boys circumcised. And Abraham kept his promise with God as well, his covenant with God, and he circumcised his son Isaac. Okay, so Hagar and Ishmael sent away. Okay, so the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham held a great feast on the day Isaac was weaned. But Sarah saw the son mocking the one Hagar the Egyptian had borne to Abraham. So she said to Abraham, "Drive out this slave with her son, for the son of this slave will not be a co-heir with my son Isaac." This was very distressing to Abraham because of his son. But God said to Abraham, "Do not be distressed about the boy and about your slave. Whatever Sarah says to you, listen to her, because your offspring will be traced through Isaac. And I will also make a nation of the slave's son, because he is your offspring." Early in the morning, Abraham got up, took bread and water, skin, put them on Hagar's shoulders, and sent her and the boy away. She left and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. When the water in the skin was gone, she left the boy under one of the bushes and went and sat at a distance, about a bow shot away, for she said, I can't bear to watch this boy die." While she sat at a distance, she wept loudly. God heard the boy crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, "What's wrong, Hagar? Don't be afraid, for God has heard the boy crying from the place where he is. Get up, help the boy up, and grasp his hand, for I will make him a great nation." Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well. So she went and filled the water skin and gave the boy a drink. God was with the boy, and he grew. He settled in the wilderness and became an archer. He settled in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother got a wife for him from the land of Egypt. So that is kind of sad that Sarah, in the moment she sees both of Abraham's son, right, that he had with Hagar, and then she sees her son, and then she gets this kind of, he's not going to be co-heir with my son, and she sends him away. And to me, I kind of sense like a little bit of like jealousy there, she felt threatened, in my opinion, by Abraham's other son just being there and being in her presence. And once she had her son, it was kind of like, okay, off with you, like I don't need you anymore. And so I think that that's so interesting that she sent them away, like just go away, just go. How Hagar was just broken down. She didn't know what was to come after that. She didn't know what would happen to her son. She thought she was going to die. She thought he was going to die. They were thirsty. They needed water. She didn't have any type of direction for where her future was going to go. And so, God came to her. And that's the interesting thing, is when you don't have an idea of where you're going in life, or you get kind of confused or you stumble, you have to remember that God is always there. God is always with you. He's always watching over you, and you are going to be okay. And he's going to show you the way somehow, some kind of way, and you're going to get through it, and you're going to pull through in life. And I think this is the perfect example of that, because Hagar had to be very fearful. Like, what am I doing? Where do I go? Like, and she's crying out to God, like, and her son is crying out, and God is like, you are going to be blessed. I got you. I know you're going through a hard time and you're struggling, but your son is going to be a great nation. I'm going to take care. Your son's going to be okay. And that's exactly what happened. So, that's the harsh reality of life sometimes. Sometimes, you can be in situations and people off you. You could be in a relationship and your boyfriend just offs you because he's interested in somebody else, or it could be the other way around, vice versa. Or, somebody can use you for something and then they don't want to deal with you anymore. And it's heartbreaking in that moment. And it hurts your heart, because you feel all types of things. You feel abandoned, you feel abused. But you have to remember, You have to remember that the man up above, is going to show you and lead you in the direction of where your life needs to go. And sometimes when you're not close with God and you kind of stray away a little bit, you can want to get revenge. You can want to kill somebody. You can want to hurt somebody. Anything. Get revenge back for whatever they've done to you because you're just so angry. But you have to remember that God always has a plan. I don't care what you're going through in your life. I don't care how hard things have been. God He always has a plan. Okay, and that's the greatness and the greatness about God. So I'm gonna go ahead and Bible study right here for today. I love you guys so much, and I hope that you guys are blessed. Make sure to be safe. Remember to remember to pray. Just pray, and stay strong and stay blessed. And I will catch you guys in the next session of Bible study. All right, see you guys later.